But there's another movie that's gotten very, 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 very lukewarm reviews, and with it being split down 50%, I'm at least. I don't know how you're still feeling about it.
Yeah. I mean, let's
I'm on
call
that
them
50%
mixed.
fighting for it. It is
Let's
very
call them mixed
mixed.
because lukewarm, I think, implies like down the middle, and it's either you love this thing or you fucking hate it. From what I've heard from people, I'm
Damien
still
Chazelle's
Team
Babylon.
Chazelle.
I am too, but I've never seen a movie that's about telling directors, "Hey, maybe you should get a no once in a while." And everyone's review for it is, Damien Chazelle, you should have gotten a big old no from this. I will actually shout out one of our intercuties. Magnitude Reviews had one of the best breakdowns of this when he marked it. I know he hated it, but at least he made me chuckle off of this. I don't even see his review on here, unless it was Josh. Someone
No, it
had
was
said,
Magnitude.
It was Magnitude, dude. He was. What did he say? Brady went, "You're so used to." Oh, he's right there. My bad. Let me read his words exactly. Brady went, "You've heard. You remember when fans on Twitter prayed for a 4-hour Snyder cut instead of a Chazelle cut? The film needs a 2-hour studio cut." I swear, we are going to be in an era where we're gonna have to like beg for the theatrical cuts now. And you know who understands that? Directors like James Cameron. Directors like Peter Jackson. They know that the extended cuts come after. You need the theatrical to hook people in, and then those nerds want more. Man, he nerded out and he said, "Nah, I'm a full nerd and I want the entire 3-hour cut there." Is it a lot? Yes. There's never been a movie where the bad reviews sound just like the good reviews.
Yep. I've seen people like say all these things to dismiss it, and it's just been like them highlighting the things I loved about it.
Yes. And then someone praises it and they go, "That sounds like the most disgusting movie. I don't want to see it." Look, it is. Everyone's been describing it from Wolf of Wall Street to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's all of these different variations, but I think it very much it's way nerdier to that aspect. Like it's so set in the 1930s that it's not necessarily the 70s or the 50s that a lot of people have gone back to. It's an era in time where it's like no one's really reminiscing that period. And hearing Justin Hurwitz, who's Damien Chazelle's like right-hand man, these two went to college together. He's been doing all of his music since. This dude claimed that he was writing the script alongside with him. And so having done the music for Whiplash, y'all know his sound from La La Land. You're definitely going to hear his sound here as well. Zach made a good compilation of it. The way he described that was interesting because I think all of us, when we heard that bit, were like, this is La La Land. At 3 hours, Zach, my question for you is, do you still not love the score, and do you not think that it should be up and eligible for awards if it's 3 hours long?
I love the score. I mean, yeah, you're reusing a little bit of that La La Land soundtrack, but Voodoo Mama is, as far as I know, entirely original and just
Manny's theme,
constantly playing on a loop in my head as I like try to navigate all my errands now. If it's not the most distinct and memorable score of last year, then I'm really not sure what is. And it's got so much energy. It's so, I don't know. I do really like what he's doing, even though there is some of that like recycling of stuff that maybe distracted me during the movie. It's still kind of cool.
It's cool. I'm telling you, he's homaging the greats, and if the greats just so happen to be him, so be it. I did like how he broke it down. The 1930s had like a specific sound of jazz, and he's like, we're not doing the 30s. We're doing everything that came before it and everything that came after. And if you know the crazy ending to this movie, you know that that's what they were going for. They were just seeing, as Zach has put it, that period in time with a change.
That's been a thing that I've noticed a lot too. A lot of people who don't like this movie are upset about the
accuracy.
And the anachronistic elements in it, from some of the music to some of the outfits. Yeah, and I think it is a little bit of a pastiche and a blending of different styles and stuff. It's not necessarily like, here is the 1920s and the 1930s exactly as they happened. It's here's like the fun Wolf of Wall Street 1920s cinema.
Hey, and I got you on that one because he literally said, he practically let it slip, you know you love that trailer for the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
He said that's where he got the drum beats. None of those drum beats were ever in the 1930s and wouldn't come for years to come. So that whole do-do-do-do-do, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, he's got some yay in there. So to take that with the old, that's why it's got this insane sound that he's like fusing together. And I think that works for the movie because I think a big part of the movie that a lot of people have hated is I've seen people still in the year 2023 get upset for depictions in movies that are just depicting something, not endorsing it. And I think this is one of those movies where I think it gets into the heart of a lot of the people who are in the industry who put their blood, sweat, and tears into it and may feel like they're not loved, but still have pieces of them that add to the pantheon of what is the history of movie making. And I don't know. I'm excited to watch this again, dive deeper into it. I, like you, have had the score playing in the background. You put that on? Yeah. Your dishes are going to be done in like 5 minutes, but I'm still Team Chazelle. I've been loving listening to the interviews, and maybe it's too much to sit for 3 hours in a theater, but I do implore you to catch it at some point, just because I think there's a lot of interesting performances.
It is a bit exhausting. Like, I will give the detractors that. I think by that like third hour, there's a little bit of like, all right, like here we go again. Here's the Voodoo Mama score again. And it's also like less fun on the decline than it is on the incline, which, you know, that makes sense. Obviously, as the characters are coming up in the world, you're going to prefer to see that. Even though I felt like some of that fluff and padding maybe on its back half wasn't as necessary, it didn't make me not enjoy the experience. And I like that he's going for it. I like that he's giving you the maximalist idea. I mean, really, even that ending, it's just like Chazelle just loves this so much, and he's going to give you as much of it as he can.
And talk about that. You tweeted that. When did we become stockholders? When we at this boardroom caring about the box office returns? Y'all have never cared about this. You spend all this time belittling the Marvel numbers because you're like, we don't care about numbers. Now y'all care about numbers?
Exactly.
You said it best, dude. Talk about it.
Well, I mean, I'm going to borrow something from James Gray here. It's like, when did everybody become shareholders in Comcast? You know, like, why are we rooting for these billionaires to line their pockets? Like, just be happy that they decided to pay for some filmmaker's crazy dream. That's all that should affect you, not whether or not Babylon made money. Like, who cares that it didn't make money? You are going to be fine. It'll cost you the same to buy a movie ticket as it will for a movie that made money.
You want him to succeed because when it comes to the director that you do care gets an unedited cut for their vision, don't put down somebody else, because then it's gonna come back to bite you. So I'm all for, if someone got the money, that's all that matters. And I like that you brought up James Gray, because I love the way that he put it at Con, where he had said, who cares? It's an investment. You might not get it immediately away, but in time, The Godfather didn't make mad money, but it's The Godfather now, you know? It's like in time it becomes a part of the culture, and his big thing is like, we're not investing in the culture. Maybe Babylon ain't the culture, but I do think that it's commenting on a big point in time.
Yeah.
So.
But look, Chazelle's given us Whiplash, he's given us La La Land, and he's even given us First Man, which is a lot of people think is maybe his best movie. He is owed a big swing like this after movies like that. Directors get them only so often, and this was his shot. Take it? Like, yeah.
What the heck was Toby doing in there before we head out, though? Did you hear what this man's been saying? He is producer on this movie, so a lot of people have been confused, like, why did you get him? He's like a big reason why this movie was made. Whatever it is that he takes you on during that scene, he has claimed,
the 7 circles of hell.
Yeah, some life experiences that he's had. I'm like, Toby, what are you talking about? He said he just went all out. They did not tell him what to do in that scene. He just went crazy. And
it is kind of amazing that they got the face of one of the most profitable franchise in Hollywood history for that part.
On purpose, bro. On purpose. Has to be. He was just sick and tired of it. Bully Maguire at it again. Again, I would see it in theaters, but it is 3 hours. Maybe need to stretch at home.